guys, Michigan Prepared here. Just a couple things I wanted to cover today. I don't really have anything as far as the whole, World War III thing goes or whatever, but there's a couple things I want to talk about because, and I'm not going to mention names today, but I was watching another YouTube channel, prepping channel today, and it just fires me up, guys. It really pisses me off because this person claims they're about the people, about helping people survive and get through, the BS that's about to come down on us. And granted, in their videos, they make some good points. I'm not going to lie. But I think what it's all about, from what I gather, from what I see, it's about trying to push their prepping store, trying to get rich, trying to become a millionaire and off the people. Now, he's got a shit ton of followers. I mean, his content's good, don't get me wrong. But I think he pushes it for a reason. Because he's been pushing the same narrative for years, alright? He's been talking about this very thing for years. And he likes to toot his own horn, and it just pisses me right off. Because your average person, me, probably most of my viewers, we can't afford half this shit, alright? So he comes on today, and granted, yes, it did happen. There was a grain ship that was destroyed out in the Black Sea, even though these several countries had an agreement. It was a safe zone for these ships to get through to, bring grains and whatever other goods to port across, country or whatever. But he comes on today talking about that. And his thumbnails pretty much, oh my God, global emergency, you gotta buy my stuff now. And I tell you what, so I went to his store, online. I used his link. I went to his store, and I'm here to tell you right now, that shit is way overpriced. He's taking, $100, $150 items, and he's marking them up 200, 300, 400%. It's absolutely ridiculous what he's charging for this shit. He claims it's top of the line. There's nothing better out there, and well, let me tell you what. All right, let's go into what you guys should do. And I make no money off of giving you guys this information, but it's what me and several people in my group do. It's extremely cheap, and it's going to cause you to survive should some bullshit happen. Alright? And let's start off with food preps. Forget all these freeze-dried foods, guys. They taste like crap. And if you can find them, they're expensive as hell. Like I said, they're marked up 300, 400, 500, 600, 700%. It's absolutely ridiculous. But he claims they're cheapest. His store has the cheapest on the market, and buy his stuff, or else anything else you could buy is just pure junk. Well, that's bullshit. So let's start off with food, guys. I got several totes. Quite a few, actually. That you can buy from Lowe's, Home Depots, Menards, the thick industrial grade totes. The black totes, yellow lids. I got several of their big ones. The totes themselves are fairly inexpensive, depending on what size you want to go with, alright? Then you go on Amazon and get yourself a fairly inexpensive vacuum sealer. And you get you a few rolls of vacuum seal bags. Alright, now you're into it, maybe 50, 75 bucks. Then you go to your your big box retail supermarkets that sell to restaurants and shit like that. And you pick you up, a 20, 50 pound bag of rice. Or pick up a couple of them, whatever your budget will allow. And then you pick up big bags of dried beans, guys. Dried. You can buy the canned if you want, but I suggest buying the dried. And then you buy seasoning packs, guys. Whether it's, you can get like stroganoff seasoning, or taco seasoning, or burrito, or whatever your palate desires. There's hundreds of different seasoning packets out there. You stock up on what you like. That way, when you're making your beans and rice, and you're catching your fish, and you're putting a little fish in with your beans and rice, you can take one of those seasoning packs and flavor it to your liking. You know what I mean? Because just straight plain beans and rice every day is going to get old. Beans and rice in and of itself will keep you alive. You got your calories and you got your proteins. Obviously, you need your waters too, but sorry, this old lady does not know how to merge. Anyway, so you get your beans, you get your rice, you get your seasoning packs, and what you do is you go home with your vacuum sealer, okay? You cut you off a decent sized bag, and you figure out the portions for your family, and you vacuum seal them into portions. You do your beans and rice separately. In these vacuum seal bags, put 2 or 3 cups of rice in a bag, vacuum seal it. Throw it in your tote. Maybe put an oxygen absorber in there, or a moisture absorber. You don't need these fancy, high dollar Mylar bags that everybody keeps pushing. No, vacuum seal bags in a dark container will do the same freaking thing. I'm tired of these idiots trying to sell you guys, outrageously priced crap to prepare for the devastation that may or may not come. So anyway, whatever the portion size for your family, everybody's family is different. Everybody eats different size portions. Like, I can eat like a pig. All right, I got big portion size packed away. I like to eat. I like my food. So, just say for instance, 2 or 3 cups of rice in a vacuum seal bag. You seal it up. You throw it in your tote. I got for instance, I got 1 tote full of rice. I got 1 tote full of dried beans. Now the same thing goes for your dried beans, guys. Typically, in the package of beans, and you don't even need to take the beans out of the package. I like leaving the beans in the package because it's got the instructions on it. Every bean, between, like, say, kidney beans or Great Northern white beans or whatever, they got different instructions. You're supposed to soak them for X amount of time, or boil them for X amount of time, or you're supposed to wash them, rinse them, boil them, let them set, cook them down again, or whatever the case may be. So what I like to do, in most bags, they'll come with like pre-poked or punched holes in the bag. If not, you take a pen or something, a knife, and you just poke a couple little holes in the bag. Now you take your vacuum seal bag, you throw that whole bag and all in that vacuum seal bag, and you seal it with an oxygen absorber or a moisture absorber. And now that'll keep those beans fresher longer. For quite a long time, actually. A hell of a long time. Probably just as long as this freeze-dried food crap that this idiot keeps pushing. You can even go as far as vacuum sealing some beans and rice together and pre-portioned packages with like a seasoning pack in there, or 2, whatever you desire. I don't buy this freeze-dried shit, guys. 1, like I said, the price is through the roof. And 2, that's if you can find it. You're going to be lucky enough to find it, and And 3, it tastes like shit. I bought a couple just to try them to see if my family would eat them, just in case an SHTF scenario hit. My wife can't stand them. My daughter can't stand them. Now what I did, guys, is I made up a pot of beans and rice, threw a couple cans of tuna in there with a seasoning pack, and they kind of looked at me like I was stupid. Actually, they looked at me like I was real stupid. I was like, no. You know, if something goes on in this world, this is what you're going to eat. Whether you like it or not, this is what you got. So I made up a pot, guys, and I made them eat it. They actually liked it. It actually tasted really, really good. It filled you up. It left you, you know, it didn't leave you hungry. It left you satisfied. So you can create your own food preps dirt cheap, guys. I do have a dehydrator, but I haven't used it yet. My mother-in-law bought it brand new for me for my birthday, and I have yet to use it. So you don't need a dehydrator, you don't need a freeze dryer, you don't need anything fancy. You can create your own survival food. Beans and rice are going to be your guys' staples. Then canned meats, guys. You can buy canned ham, canned tuna. You can buy, Spam. And a lot of people don't like it, and it actually smells really disgusting when you're cooking it. But the flavor, it actually tastes really good. Cook it down with some onions and whatnot, and it actually tastes really good. So buy a bunch of canned meats. They're still relatively cheap. You guys can still find them. Stock up. Make a pantry. Just load that pantry down with beans and rice and canned meats and whatever else you feel like loading it down with. Peanut butter, guys. Contrary to popular belief, even though you may have some oil separation with peanut butter lasts a hell of a long time. You can take peanut butter if it's got the oil separation in it. Take a butter knife or something and stir it back up. Mix it back up. Good as new. It may taste slightly off, but it's not bad. And it'll get you through. Peanut butter, as you all know, high in protein, provided you ain't got a peanut allergy. Let's see. Powdered milk, guys. That's getting harder to find. But if you're a family that relies on milk, try to stock up on some powdered milk. Last I checked, which has actually been a while, Amazon still had buckets of powdered milk for sale. They're kind of pricey, but in my opinion, they're worth it. You can also go to these big box stores, guys, that sell to like restaurants and shit. You can get the giant number 10 cans of, I think it's like Sloppy Joe mix, or you can get vegetables. I mean, you can get all kinds of stuff. Stock your pantry with it, and they're cheap. They're really, really cheap. It's not going to leave you broke, and it's going to keep you fed. When other people run out of food, you're going to be eating like a king. Granted, you might be eating like a king off of beans and rice and some green corn or some shit, but at least you'll be eating, you know what I mean? Another thing to stock up on, guys, is yeast. Learn how to make your own bread. Stock up on flour and yeast while you still can. Yes, I know yeast supposedly goes bad after a while. Put it in your vacuum seal bags with an oxygen absorber and seal it tight. It'll last a hell of a lot longer. Create your own food preps, guys. Now, as far as staying warm in the winter. Now, this is another thing that pisses me off. Alright, I was interested in a jacket, you know, like -40, because while my wife and kids are sitting in my, hand-built, homemade little wood shack or whatever, surviving in the winter, I'm going to be out there hunting, cutting firewood, and doing whatever the hell I got to do to make sure my family survives. So when he mentions a jacket, I'm like, all right, cool, I'll go. That's half the reason I went to a store. So I go to check it out. $700. Who the hell's got $700 in today's day and age to blow on a freaking jacket? Definitely not me. So then the curiosity got the better of me. A ski jacket, guys. A regular, I don't know, average Joe ski jacket. Warm as hell. $129. Not $700. You can also find them for around $75, $80, guys. And maybe I shouldn't bring this up, but here's a good trick, and surprisingly, it works really well, okay? Some of y'all know that I was in prison for a while. From 2001 to 2007, I was in prison. Now, during the winters, they gave us some really thin blue jackets here in Michigan. They did not keep you warm. There was barely any stuffing in there. It was a really thin polyester front shell, back shell, and maybe a Q-tip's worth of cotton in between to try to keep you warm. They did not keep you warm. You froze your butt off if you wanted to go outside in the winter. Well, while I was there, I kept noticing that people would take one of their bath towels and they would throw it over their shoulders and then drape the ends down the front of them, and they would put their jacket over it. I tried that one day. Oh my God, what a difference. Absolutely insane, the amount of difference. Now, during the winter, at home, when I have to go outside and shovel or snow blow or whatever the case may be, my regular winter jacket that my company gave me, it's thick and it's warm. But I tell you what, a couple years ago we had a couple cold days. That jacket didn't make a damn bit of difference. What I did is I went into my house, remembering the old trick I used to use from prison. I went and grabbed one of our bath towels. I threw it around my shoulders, draped it down the front of me so it wasn't all bunched up and uncomfortable. I had it going down the back of my neck ever so far, but then just draped down the front of me. And I threw my thick jacket back on over that. Wow, what a difference. Incredible difference. That bath towel around your neck and draped down the front of you, I don't know why it makes such a difference. Well, first of all, it does seal your jacket around your neck, so you're not losing heat out that way. And it also helps hold heat in down the front of you. It made a massive difference, guys. So you don't need a $700 jacket. Now, another thing this guy's pushing is, this $400 portable wood stove. Now, I do recommend that everybody has an alternative form of heating. However, do you need a $400 wood stove? Absolutely not. You guys could weld 6 pieces of steel together, decent thickness, of course. Cut a little door out and you could use exhaust pipe from AutoZone to create a smokestack, and that's going to cost you maybe $100. Or you can buy a cheaper one on Amazon. They all work the same, guys. You don't need a $400, $500, $600 wood stove to keep you warm in an emergency situation. There's several ways you guys can go about doing this cheaply. If you guys need any more ideas, information, just put it in the comment section below. Put in capital letters the word question, and under that write your question. Hey, what should I do about this scenario, or you got any ideas for this? And I'll respond to you. I'm full of ideas, guys. I'm a backwoods, cheap-ass redneck, all right? I do shit on the cheap. I live from paycheck to paycheck because I'm an idiot and I have way too many bills and way too many toys. So affording, a $700 jacket, you get 3 freeze-dried meals for $200, no, absolutely not. Altogether, in the past 3 years, I think I got maybe $2,000 into my food. But that's slowly over time, guys. And I got enough food to last my family a year or two, at least. I keep buying it. Every time I go to the store and I see a bag of beans, I snatch them. Anytime I see a big bag of rice, I snatch it. Anytime I see canned Spam or tuna or chicken or whatever on sale, canned ham even, those smaller ones, I buy them up. I stick them in my pantry. The shelf life on those things are insane. They'll last forever. Well, I wouldn't say forever, but they last for quite a few years. So my point is, guys, you can do this shit on the cheap. Don't listen to this idiot. You don't need to buy all this expensive, name brand, supposedly quality tested equipment. You don't need it. As far as a power source, guys, simplest way to get power off grid in an emergency situation. There's going to be cars abandoned everywhere. There's going to be bicycles abandoned everywhere. Most of these cars are going to have decent batteries in them. The only thing you guys need is like a power inverter. Alright? Cheap way to do this is take a bicycle. You take the outer tire and the tube off. Inside that rim is an elastic belt to protect your tube from the spokes. You hook that to a car alternator and you can charge a battery. Once that battery is charged, you hook your power inverter to it, bam, you got lighting. You got a way to charge your your electric tool batteries. You don't need these EcoFlow, 80 billion watt power inverters for $75,000. You know what I mean? I can't afford nothing like this. And yes, I'm exaggerating on the prices a little bit, but it's insane. This guy isn't about you guys. He's about he's about making himself rich. I don't even honestly think he believes half the shit that he tells you guys. It's absolutely insane that, it's like, yeah, I'm here for you guys, but here, buy my products because they're the best on the market and you can only get them at my store. Bullshit. Everything on his store I Googled. Guess what? You can find it everywhere. And for a fraction, literally a fraction of the cost. So don't let him bullshit you guys. Don't let him bankrupt you. Again, he does bring you some good content. I'm not gonna lie. He's got a few valid good points. But trying to push this narrative that you need to buy from him and only him because he's got the best of the best and it's the only stuff that's gonna last and it's the only bullshit. Don't buy into it, guys. There's way to do shit on a budget, such as like my budget. I make decent money, but again, I'm a broke idiot because I got too many bills. I literally live paycheck to paycheck. My last paycheck was just over $1,000, $1,045 or something. And guess what I'm down to? And that was, what's today? Today's Saturday. I just paid bills yesterday. Over $1,000 paycheck. I'm down to $85 until next Friday. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I live paycheck to paycheck. And I'm assuming most of you are the same way. That's typically how most of society runs. Paycheck to paycheck. Not unless you're silver spoon fed or, your daddy or your grandpa left you billions. Whatever. Either way, you guys, don't buy into the BS. There's ways to do stuff on the cheap. With that being said, if you guys got any questions, again, please leave them in the comment section below. I can't reiterate this stuff again, enough. You guys do need to stock up. This diesel shortage looming over our heads. Granted, the White House says there's more diesel coming. Quite honestly, I don't trust a damn thing they say. So, it is what it is. Do stuff on the cheap, guys. You don't need name brand. You don't need to go take out a $20,000 mortgage against your house to be able to get stocked up. You don't need it. If you guys over the next say 3-4 months can come up with about $500, you'd be sitting pretty. So I don't know, guys. With that being said, that's about all I got for you now. If I catch something else that I think you guys need to hear about as far as pertaining to the war or any other ideas, I'll make another video. This one's already at 25 minutes. It's going to take me forever to upload. Anyway, guys, love y'all. Please do me a huge favor. Like, share, subscribe. You guys don't need that expensive shit. Help get this word out there so other people can realize that, hey, you don't need this expensive shit to survive. Anyway, once again, love y'all. Stay safe. Like, share, subscribe. Michigan Prepared out.